What's
actually
up,
did.
everybody? This is another episode of Bulldog Uncensored. We got my buddy Bronson from TNA Wrestling Open, AEW, you name it, he's there. Wrestling Open heavyweight champion. Bear, what's up, man? Thanks for doing this.
So, man, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So I guess we'll get right to the start. What got you in wrestling in the first place?
For me, man, I mean, it was like, I mean, it's my earliest memories. I don't really remember a time where I didn't watch wrestling. I was hooked. It was, as a kid, most kids are, hooked on Power Rangers at first or all that stuff. And I was, but
Yeah.
wrestling was my first. It was the
Yeah.
first thing it was the first entertainment I really ever digested. Um, and my parents are just cool like that, because my older brother and all my cousins were like super into the Attitude Era at the time. And I was born in 1995. So it was at like 5 years old range, 4 or 5 years old, where
Yeah.
I started really digesting it. And I just loved it better than all the other kid shows and all that stuff. And it was getting so big, not getting so big. It was always big with action figures and all that stuff. So it was
Yeah.
just a lot for me. And that's again, my earliest memories. Uh, my earliest memory is not live, but my brother taped Undertaker, Mankind, Hell in the Cell, King of the Ring, 1998, and that for me, I think that was the first piece of wrestling history I ever digested at the time. And
Well, you started at a big level, man. Holy crap.
yeah, that was like my earliest memory of it. And then I fell in love with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and that kind of car crash style of wrestling, and I just loved it. I never fell out of love with it. I just it's been my whole life. So when I got into it, really, I mean, I always knew it was what I wanted to do. I did attempt to go to college for like a semester at the time when I graduated high school. But when I graduated high school, I I looked up wrestling schools, and Creative Pro Wrestling was 20 minutes away from me, and it had just opened. So that was very appealing to me. It had just opened, and opened by Kurt Hawkins or Brian Myers now, and Pat Buck. And that's where I really got my first footing, and my roots in that are in that wrestling school. So that's how I got into wrestling, literally got into the
Yeah.
business. And I just never, man, I never imagined myself doing anything else. And I'm the type where it wasn't my dream to like, I mean, obviously everyone's dream to like main event WrestleMania or win a world title and
Right.
stuff like that. But for me, it was to just be a wrestler, like, period. So my end game was like, you know, joining wrestling school. My best friends were MJF, Max Caster. I knew those guys were going, you know,
Yeah.
as far as they wanted to go. And for me, it was like, my goal is to be the cool indie wrestler that like they're all friends with, you know? And luckily I've exceeded those
Right.
dreams by a lot. So I'm very lucky and I'm very blessed for that. But that's how literally I got into the business.
No, that's awesome. I mean, I'm, believe it or not, a few years older than you. Um, yeah, I'm 38, so I started watching in '92. So
Okay.
back when WWF was kind of shitty, and
Sure.
when things picked up mid '90s, I mean, I was a huge Shawn Michaels mark.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
but my first favorite big man was Ahmed Johnson, and
Okay. Hell yeah.
I was lucky enough to have him on the show. The first season I did this. So
Whoa.
shout outs to Tony. He's a good dude. Always a big fan. Um, but yeah, so I mean, I started with an episode of Superstars. I think it was Goldust and Ahmed Johnson going at it. They
Wow.
were kind of prepping for their Intercontinental match, so that was pretty sweet. And then, like you said, Austin came about, and Taker's my do or die guy, man. Like
Sure.
even in high school, like I was dressing like the American Badass because I couldn't grow my hair out long at the time. That's what you get for having a cop for a father, but yeah, it's a whole nother story.
I love it.
Right on. Yeah.
I love it.
So I mean, I've been along with it all the time, and I even though with my disability and whatnot, not being able to actually get into the physicality of it, like I would literally work out in my room as a kid and just wrestle fucking bash and brawler in the bed just to keep myself healthy.
Mm,
And yeah, it panned off. So I mean, it's always been a huge part of my life, and
nice.
you know, independent wrestling, especially like once I got into high school, I started going to a lot of indie shows in New England, and you know, it was one thing to go to Raw or SmackDown or whatever, be a part of the whole vibe of it all. But when I started going to indie shows, I was like, wow, like I know these guys are all just regular people, but like I got to get to know a few guys that I probably wouldn't have otherwise, just in a more intimate setting, and yourself included.
Yeah,
Um,
well, it opens up a whole other, you know, TV wrestling. The library of TV wrestling in itself is so vast,
yeah,
and then you. I remember I was 13 years old when I figured out what indie wrestling was, and that opens up an entirely different world. uh, where it's just like so much more, so much different.
yeah,
You think like, oh, wrestling's not like this anymore or whatever, and then you go to Indy, and you're like, oh my god, it can be,
hmm,
Because I was always at like I loved ECW, I loved car crash style wrestling. So like, for me, discovering at the time when I was 13 years old, like I was discovering like CZW at the time, and Tournament of Death and all that stuff. I was like,
yeah.
what is so it's a whole other world.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, it's next level, and I think between that and underground music, like I think the
Yeah,
underdog lifestyle has always been my thing. So like I found guitar at 10 years old, and I've been in metal bands since I was 20. So
hell yeah,
I love it, and it might not be a high paying job, but I still book shows for other bands and stuff like that. So I got a real
nice.
appreciation for all the DIY stuff that goes on with indie wrestling. I Probably my favorite memory. I was at Good Times Emporium down in Somerville back in the day when they were still running shows, and I had pizza with Jay Lethal and AJ Styles. Fucking
Wow.
just randomly just said, "Hey, you guys want to come sit with us?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, all right." And then a few weeks later, I went to another show closer to Boston, and Chris Sabin and Road Dogg were there, and I'm a diehard DX guy. And I ended up smoking a joint with him in the parking lot, so that was pretty funny. But
Wow.
yeah, like really cool experiences on indie wrestling, and I've gotten a chance to host a couple of events at different bars. Like I did the Royal Rumble. I think it was like 2012, I think. Um, but we had Ox Baker come down, uh, Maria, Ken Doan, and all those
Ooh,
guys. So it was really cool to hang out with people and just like you know, I never really get the whole like starstruck thing with very few people, but yeah, it's cool to really develop those kind of friendships. I'm always appreciative of that. So
nice.
obviously, dead giveaway with your entrance music and whatnot. You're into heavy shit. What did you start off when it comes to music?
So what's funny is my wife is a way bigger metalhead than I am, like
Really? Okay.
way deeper. She grew up going to hardcore shows. She grew up
Okay.
going to metal shows. She loves hair metal. She loves not hair metal, I'm sorry. She loves like King Diamond,
Yeah. Yeah.
like that style.
Yeah.
Um and she, when I had left AEW and was trying to reinvent myself and um uh trying to change my image and try to make it more of what I want. I had a hard time because entrance music is so important, more important than
Oh
people
yeah.
think.
No, definitely.
And it was actually her idea to use The Hammer by Kublai Khan.
Right.
And when she had showed me it, I actually dismissed it at first because I was like, there's no way no one's using that. Someone out there's using that. Like,
Yeah.
it's so good. And then I spent an entire afternoon really, really searching, and nobody was using it. And
Nice.
I was very surprised. So I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. And it was just perfect.
Yeah. Now, how would you
And
compare that to some of your other themes in like AEW? Like, do you feel like it's a different energy?
yeah, way more memorable, way more fitting. Even
Yeah.
like honestly, just my other, whether it's in AEW or outside of AEW or um like indies and stuff, I always used cool music, but it was just
Yeah.
not like memorable or iconic.
Right.
Um like I love like Gojira, so I'd use Gojira.
Yeah.
And what's funny is like the two entrance themes I have now, whether it's the Hammer or in TNA we have by Downstate the System.
Right. Right.
Those are
Yeah.
two of my favorite theme songs I've ever had, and I bump both of them at the gym. And I'm like, oh, I'm actually this is cool. It's cool to be a fan of your own theme song. This is
Yeah.
great.
Right. No, I get
It's not
that. Yeah.
something generic, like
No.
So
Have
it's
you
pretty cool.
talked
And
to the
then yeah,
guys in Kubla Khan?
I have not. I have not.
Okay. Right
But
on.
I've heard a lot. I've heard cool things, So um
Definitely.
I'm not as deep because honestly, like I'm very one dimensional when it comes to like I wouldn't maybe I wouldn't say that, but like you know, I had a lot of friends that went to hardcore shows and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
I like I had a lot of friends growing up, a lot, and like whether it was like hardcore music people or whether it was like I played football, so I had friends in football, so I had a lot of like I called them ESPN kids, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I just never cared. I never cared about any of that stuff. Like I'd go over to my friend's house and they're all sitting in the living room watching Sports Center, and I'm like, ugh, like I can't. It bores me to death. So
Yeah. It's like watching paint dry.
I can't do it. Like I just can't. And then like I love music. I love music, but like I didn't grow up going to shows a lot just because I didn't have any interest in it. I loved wrestling.
Yeah.
Wrestling to me was just my everything.
Yeah.
So, but my wife did though. She's been to hundreds of shows. So her palette is very very wide when it comes to music.
Nice. Yeah. So, I mean, you and, well, for those of you who don't know at home, Gabby Flores is Bear's wife.
Yes.
She is newly signed to TNA. Congrats to Gabby
Yes.
again.
Yep.
And the new Limitless Wrestling champion. So
Yes.
we were
Crazy
very,
week, man.
very
All
pleased.
in one week.
Wow. Unreal.
Crazy.
They say when it rains, it pours, but sometimes it's a good thing.
Yeah, man. And I love the rain. I actually have a tattoo that says it can't rain all the time.
Right on.
Because in a
Big,
positive light, because I love the rain. So
yeah, I'm a big Crow fan too. Right on.
hell yeah.
Good deal,
Nice.
man. Okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah, so I mean, you've been fucking since starting in with AEW and the tag division, and then kind of remolding yourself, like you said, as a singles competitor. Man, like I saw you in Bear Country early on, and I'm
Sure.
like, okay, this guy's got something. The other guy's pretty good, but it just you stood out to me in a lot of ways.
Thank you.
And I've always been like I said, a big fan of the bigger dudes like Vader and Bam Bam and shit like that. So I get a little bit more appreciation than most for guys of your stature.
Thank you.
But it's impressive to me how nimble you are considering how big you are for a dude.
I get that a lot. I get that a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't even know what to credit to either. I
right.
just put my mind to something and just do it.
Now something I've always wondered is, and I don't know why I never thought to ask any of my other wrestling buddies. But, obviously when you go through training and whatnot, you get the basics down and all that kind
Yes.
of stuff and chain wrestling and all that. How did you come up with like a move set?
Honestly, because the thing is, like, you do your fundamental training at school,
Right.
but your real training is just getting out there and getting on shows.
Yeah.
And my first few years, you know, I think what's hard for newer wrestlers today is everything is streaming. So you don't newer wrestlers today don't have an avenue to go out and go fail without
Yeah.
any repercussion.
Yeah.
And I did. I had that avenue. So that was good for me. And like, those matches, no one ever sees those, the ones of my first 2 years where I
Yeah.
was stinking up the place and having terrible, like,
Yeah.
or just learning, like that's where you get the real training, being
Yeah.
in front of crowds and just learning how that works. And, so I would say with a move set, um, I later on in my career, especially these last 2 years, I've worked very hard on not being pigeonholed into one thing because I found if I look back on my career, I feel like that would happen to me often beyond my control. So like even with like the Bear Bronson character, I've had a lot of people throughout my career, maybe like years and years ago, like people would be like, "Oh, it'd be cool if you came out on all fours and growl." And I'm like, "No, like that sucks."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and I had to make sure everything was tailored to what I want it to be. And I'm a very ECW style hardcore,
Right.
you know. Um, so, you know, uh, you brought up Bam Bam, and I
Yep.
love the greetings from Asbury Park. It's one of my favorite
Hmm.
finishers.
Yep.
And that was suggested to me by Brian Myers years
Yep.
ago. And I've used it ever since, and I love it. And Black Hole Slam, big Abyss mark. I'm a huge
Yep.
Abyss mark.
Yeah.
So, uh, and I'm a pretty heavy set guy. So like I do a lot of like sitting on people,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So a lot of using my body as a weapon.
Yep.
And yeah, I would say my move set is I would say heavily inspired by like those guys mentioned or like Takeshi Morishima,
Yeah.
that sort of style. If you want to talk about nimble big guys,
Oh God. Yeah.
he is
Absolutely.
the goat of nimble big
Yeah.
guys.
My wife actually got me into New Japan like right when everything before AEW went down and actually started up. So like,
Sure,
the indies from 2016 to 19 were just insane.
they were.
Like just the amount of good wrestling everywhere. It was just nutty. Um, so when did you start training?
I started training in 2014, so
Okay.
I was not prominent on the indie scene until 2019.
Yeah.
So I got like the tail end of that like crazy insane
Oh
time
yeah, it
period.
was nuts.
Yeah.
Like I freaking shot the shit with Cody and the Young Bucks for like 20 minutes at a Ring of Honor show. Like it was nothing, and now they're on TV every damn week.
Oh yeah.
Just insane. But yeah, huge Kenny Omega fan too. Always been a
Hell
big
yeah.
big fan of his. So out of the guys that are around right now
Sure.
that you haven't wrestled, who's your dream one-on-one opponent?
Uh well, active right now.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. My dream one-on-one opponent must be, I would say, Kevin Owens.
Yeah, dude, I
Kevin
love
Owens or
that.
CM Punk.
Yeah,
CM Punk. Um, Punk is somebody who is always good to me, and he
yeah,
didn't have to be because when I was in AEW, I was the lowest on the totem pole you could possibly be.
yeah.
He didn't have to give a shit about me if he didn't want to, but he did, and he was super, super cool.
Nice.
I know he's a very polarizing individual, but
Yeah.
always good to me.
No, I mean that's kind of my policy with people. If you're good to me, I'm good to you. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I don't really give a shit. It
And
is
like,
what
I'm
it
not the
is.
type either to where like my best friends uh, have a muddied history with him,
Right.
but I don't let that judge. I just go by my
Yeah,
experiences with people. I do that with everybody, you know?
absolutely.
So
Uh,
always great to me. Always door open for anybody that needed help. And um, Just super, super uplifting.
Yeah. Now, he seems like it really depends on what kind of environment he's in.
Sure.
I think, and that's natural for anybody. But yeah, so Punk and Kevin Owens make total sense to me. I could totally see that. Kevin especially. I think he
Yeah.
might put on a banger and a half.
Yeah, I mean his Ring of Honor days into that first WWE run,
Yeah,
as a Husky kid, there's nothing more inspiring than Kevin Owens.
yeah,
Kevin Steen into Kevin Owens. Like
yeah.
nothing more inspiring.
No, and he seems like such a genuine dude.
Yeah. Which is that I value that greatly.
Absolutely, for sure. So we got current roster. Um, we'll get to seeing you at in Boston a few months ago in a minute here, but who would
Yeah.
you pick from the mid '90s to go against?
My ultimate answer of all time. So that's why I specified active before because
Yeah,
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
hell yeah.
That is my goat. That is my greatest of all time. And there are people who argue who was better, Brett or Sean. To me, it's Stone Cold.
Yep.
Like that, I put Stone Cold higher than anybody
No, he
when it comes
transcended a
to
lot of shit.
everything,
Hmm.
everything across the board. A+ across the board on everything. Performer, wrestler. How much money did he make?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
too made
yeah,
the company a fortune. Like,
yeah,
uh, I just Stone Cold Steve Austin is my. I even lived through Kevin Owens
yeah,
wrestling in WrestleMania 37,
yeah,
38, 30, 38,
or,
37. I don't know
yeah,
what it was.
something
They
like
all kind of
that.
blend into each other now. But
Lately, yeah,
but yes, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then I should, with the thing was like, if anyone's watching and they're like, oh, how come we didn't say a TNA person? That's because TNA, like, which, my new home, uh,
right,
threw me into the mix right away.
yeah,
So I have kind of wrestled in the first, what is it now? I signed in January. So what is this, 8 months now with
eight
the company,
months,
seven,
yeah.
8 months. And I've got to wrestle all my goals.
Oh yeah,
I would say the only one, maybe Mustafa Ali, I haven't gotten to really wrestle.
right,
So,
right,
uh, but yeah, I mean, the Hardys got to do a bunch with them. And
dude.
so
That was a
yeah,
highlight for me, man. So I got tickets to Slammiversary in Boston, only about an hour away from me, so it wasn't too bad. And like you and I had just kind of shut the shit a little bit a few weeks before that originally.
yeah, they believe it was Syracuse, right?
No, it would have been in Rhode Island.
Rhode
But
Island, Rhode
yeah,
Island.
yeah.
Sorry,
No, it's all good. But I was like, holy crap, my buddy's wrestling the Hardys. Like, what the fuck? It's
crazy man.
crazy.
My brothers were going insane.
Oh, I bet. I bet. Like,
My
and
brothers
that
were going
place was
nuts.
really well filled up.
Yep,
You know, I thought the production was fantastic. Like, it's hard to tell on TV sometimes, like, because there's all these camera work and funny stuff. But like, TNA really seems like they've got a good system going on right now. Pardon the pun. But
nice.
yeah, no, that
I
that
love it.
one
I love it.
that ladder spot, man. When you got sandwiched in that barbed wire ladder, I was like, oh my God, please no.
There's a funny story behind that.
Yeah,
I'm growing a bit of a reputation in the company, I feel, where so I had asked them, because the righteous, I had learned that they were going to have a wicked garden ladder
right, right,
wrapped in barbed wire, and they have a production team that does it. And I knew I wanted to do something with it. I had my ideas going into the match,
right.
and uh, I saw the ladder, and I went right to. I was like, guys, thank you, but you gotta wrap that
Wrap
shit
that
up.
some
You
base.
gotta
Yeah.
wrap that shit up. And they said they were like, well, if we do that, we're not gonna have time to clip the barbs. I said, don't. They were
Okay.
like, don't, and I was like, don't clip the barbs. I got it's good. I
Yeah.
promise. They were like, and they were literally like, are you sure? And I was
Right.
like, yes. Don't clip the barbs. I got this. And it was awesome. And then it looked they wrapped it up and it looked
Yeah.
absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
Because at first, the first variation of it, you couldn't really notice. It was very,
Yeah.
very subtle.
Subtle. Yeah.
Then they had that shit wrapped up, and it was perfect. It couldn't have been better. The
Yeah.
team did such an amazing job on it. Um, and I think just after their safety is always first in everyone's
Oh
mind.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's no shade on them at all. They're such a great
No.
team. So they were putting our safety first, but I had given them once I've given them the permission. Hey,
Yeah.
this is my thing, man. Don't worry, just wrap that shit up. Don't even clip it. We got it.
Yeah, if I could wrestle, that's exactly how I'd be. I mean, I got fucking barbed wire all over my every shit. Like I'm all for it, dude. I
Hell yeah.
totally get
No,
it.
yeah, and like it hurt, but you know what? Who cares? Like I love this shit. This is my favorite stuff.
Yep.
So, and then when that ladder match was announced, the very first thing I knew I wanted to do, I was like, I don't care what anyone says. It's my dream to take the Bubba Ray Matt Hardy WrestleMania 17 bump.
Yep.
That's my dream, man.
And that's so funny
And
because where I was sitting was like diagonal from the hard camera. So once you went over, it was like, oh, there's Bear. Bear disappeared. Like
just
that's how much.
disappeared. Yeah,
Yeah. I was like, oh, but
it was intense, dude.
yeah, that was a fun pay-per-view, man. That was really fun.
Yeah, well, you know what? If I could peel back the curtain a bit, like
Yep.
we were all the entire locker room was so I don't even think motivated is the word. We were all hell bent on proving everybody wrong because
Yeah.
and I don't need to get into it, but
Yeah.
all the kind of stuff in the air about like,
Hmm.
oh, like, whatever about the show, which we don't care.
No.
I don't care. I'll say it. I'll speak for the locker room. We don't care. We care about us. We care about this show more than anybody. And I talked to, sorry, excuse me. I talked to Frankie Kazarian about it, where I was like, we kind of looked around and we were like, man, this entire locker room tonight has an FU attitude where we're
Yeah.
like, F or what everyone says, man. We are all, and from match one to main event, we
Yep.
all had an FU attitude to the world. And that and the pay per view shows for it. Everybody killed it.
Oh, 100%. I would love to see you in the Broken Universe with the Hardys. Broken Bear. Can you imagine that?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Broken Bear with the Hardys. What do you think?
Broken Bear. Maybe at some
Like
point.
contacts and shit? Like that'd be crazy.
That would be pretty funny. That would be pretty funny. No, well, we're all, all roads are leading now to, we're, I feel like coming out of Slammiversary, we feel a lot of momentum going into now lockdown in
Yep.
Chicago, August 23rd. And we are, again, we have that same feeling. I know I do. I have that same feeling. And I'm hurting and I'm uh, definitely this year, it's the past 2 years are definitely catching up with me. I've been burning the candle at both ends as far as my workload.
Yeah, you've
Um,
been on the road like crazy, dude.
since January, since the start of the year, I am at, I believe, 92 matches for the year.
Wow.
92. And I feel it, man. I feel
Yeah.
it. And you know what? Everybody, TNA, GCW, everybody has been extremely accommodating. Um, more than I could really, I can't even like put into words how much I appreciate that and them putting my health first. But I'm very much looking forward to making up for it at lockdown because I'm looking to go crazy, man. I'm looking to go so crazy.
So, TNA is back to the whole four-sided ring like normal. Have you
Yes.
ever wrestled in a six-sided?
I have not, but all my
Okay.
friends have.
Really?
All my
Okay.
friends have. And I hear mixed opinions.
Yeah.
Some love it, some hate it. I think anyone who loves it, it's for the fan aspect of like, wow, is
Hmm.
this cool? But anyone who doesn't, I've heard like it's a rough experience.
Yeah, it seems like mechanically and like psychology wise, it's kind
Yes.
of like throwing yourself in the deep end, trying to figure out, okay, can I do this, or this, or, laying spots out. Like that's gotta be tough.
I think I would love it because I am not much of a uh just the way I wrestle. I'm not like a very I don't run a lot. I'm not a flippy guy at all, but like I'm not I'm very grounded. I'm very just strike heavy, very move heavy. So like I don't I can imagine for high flyers, I can imagine for guys who use the entire ring to their advantage, guys,
Yeah.
guys who are on the top rope a lot. I imagine it's tough for them. But yeah, for me, I don't think it'd be as tough for me. But excuse me, sorry, allergies are rough. But yeah, I mean, I would love to one day if that's ever a possibility. But I
Right
also
on.
I love how I love our presentation. I love how we're doing things. So
Yeah. The neon yellow ropes, I love that. I honestly do. Like,
I love that. I love the yellow ropes.
like I'm big on, I watch WWE a lot lately, and it's just like the white rope shit just bores the hell out of me.
Yeah, right.
Like I'm like, stick with the colors. Let's, not keep it weird, but make it make sense. Make it
Sure.
eye-catching, And I'm so old school. It's like, I like to veer away when it comes to mash types, like being original and kind of creative, but the overall setup, like I'm old school. Like just give me fucking four sides and call it a day. Like
Yeah.
that's definitely the way I prefer it. But
Yeah, I wouldn't change that aspect. I think TNA as a presentation, I love everything about it.
yeah,
Um, I would say my, cup of tea when it comes to wrestling or, uh, when I've been asked in the past or like if I think to myself right now, like what do I bring to the table as far as how TNA goes?
yeah,
Because TNA is some of the best wrestlers in the world. Mustafa Ali, Nick Nemeth, Eddie Edwards, Brian Meyer, like some of the best in ring technicians, in ring wrestlers in the world. But if you look at the history of TNA since the beginning, it has very hardcore roots.
yeah,
And I believe my role, or I believe like, if you were to ask me, what do you want to do in TNA?
yeah.
I want to bring TNA back to hardcore prominence, like Abyss did,
Right.
because those are some back in the day, those are some of the most hardcore matches I'd ever seen.
Oh yeah,
Uh, and I believe that is what I really would like to do with TNA and push those boundaries as much as I can, as much as
yeah,
they'll let me, you know, um, which so far it's been pretty cool. So, but
yeah.
there's
You,
so
you've
much
been able
more
to do
left.
some shit.
Been able, yeah, and I've only been here for a cup of coffee,
Yeah,
so
right.
I'm excited to uh, see what I could do here, see what the boundaries are I could push here, because I love hardcore wrestling. That is my thing. I love hardcore wrestling.
Yeah,
So
same.
yeah, so that's what I'm excited to see what I could do going into lockdown, also going into the rest of this year. I would love to be in a Monsters Ball match.
Yeah,
I would go crazy.
you know,
So
absolutely. No, that's music to my ears, brother. I like it.
hell yeah.
Good shit. So I guess my next thing would be, um, if you had to look a little bit ahead in the future, what are some of your goals over the next, say, 3 years?
Sure. So for me, it's my goals are a little different, and they've changed along the way. Uh, where I would say the normal answer for any wrestler is, oh, like I like the place I'm at now, but like the long, I want to go to WWE,
Right,
and you'll not intentionally, no one's maliciously doing this, but you'll see a lot of people use the company they're in as like a springboard to WWE or a springboard to AEW, and
right,
that's not me anymore,
right,
at least.
right.
Um, I truly believe TNA is my home, and I believe, because something me and my wife work on very heavily is staying present. If you have one leg on the past and one leg on the future, you're pissing on today.
Exactly.
So I, that's something, that is a quote that has stayed with me pretty heavily. And, I don't really worry too much about the future unless it's my future of where I am, like TNA. So I'll think about the future there. But like, you know, I just don't see the sense in it either of like, well, what if you go to WWE and you go to, and it's like, well, I'm not there. And I don't even want to, that's not what I want right now. What I want is, I have a home that is literally saying, hey, be you. You could be
Right.
yourself here.
Yeah, exactly.
You could be yourself here. We are not going to change you. You get to be yourself. That's where I look and I'm like, well, why would I want anything different? You
Right.
know, I think if anything, to me, that's just greedy.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
it's the authenticity end of it. Like you want
yeah,
to be as authentic as possible, and with wrestling fans, that's how you get over.
exactly. And that's how this past 2 years have been the best in my life because,
Right.
I'd actually, when I had left AEW, I told my wife, I said, I don't care if I get signed ever again. I don't.
Yeah.
I need to be, my ultimate goal is to be the wrestler that I dreamed of being growing up, or be the wrestler that teenage me would be a huge fan of. And I
Right.
accomplished that. And then when I just accomplished that goal, everything worked out for me. This is the best I've ever done in my career these last 2 years. And it's gotten me now to, TNA kind of like fell in my lap. It
Right.
kind of like
Right.
just was brought to me one day. And I was like, whoa, cool. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So like I would love to. Awesome. And it wasn't even I wasn't even trying. No, I don't want to say I wasn't trying, but I mean, I wasn't like, I was never begging or was never like
Right. You
asking.
weren't dead set on anything.
I was just happy with what I was doing. And then it fell in my lap. They were like, hey, there's this idea. And I was like, that sounds fun and great. And it looks like room to grow.
Yeah.
So, and it's just been great ever since. I have zero complaints. I love TNA. I love how I feel there. I feel like valued, but also just from the start, I was so welcomed. Um, and now it's the new home for my wife.
I know.
So
I mean, how great is that?
what a crazy that to me, even it's like, man, what an insane, like, what an absolutely insane series of events leading up to today. Like,
Yeah.
now not only do I have this new home that I love, but now I'll be able to go to work with my wife, which is like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
Like, so
So yeah,
crazy.
I mean, obviously you guys have both been in wrestling for a while, but I'm curious, how did you guys get involved at first?
Sure. So Gabby fell into wrestling. She was not like a huge fan.
Yeah.
She, uh, she has a heavy football background where she was a
Okay. Right.
linebacker for the New York Wolves in the WFA for 10 years.
Wow.
Was an alternate for Team USA. Um, and also has a powerlifting background and a personal training background. So she was a personal trainer. She is currently still a personal trainer for Stoked Athletics on Long Island. And uh, it was a Long Island based wrestler by the name of VSK, or in AEW, who's Jeeves with, uh, I forgot what the group was called at the time. It was Ara Javari's group.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he, him and others, they started going to Stoked. And the trainers there, including Gabby, were like, whoa, you guys are wrestlers? Like, what, And they were like, just come to a show, come check it out.
Yeah.
So they did. And they started coming to the shows as fans and they started loving it. And that is where eventually her and I had met at one of those shows and just fell for each other
Wow.
instantly. And that is where, I mean, we fell in love with each other like right off the bat. And then 6 months into us dating, she had asked me, like, what do you think about me trying this? And if it was anybody else, I think I'd be hesitant.
Mm,
But with her, I was like, you absolutely should try it. Like, I feel
yeah.
like you have all the qualities of what, you know. So she did, and it was kind of off to the races from there. Everything had started happening so fast. And
Yeah.
um, I really I don't take credit really for anything that she's like done.
Yeah.
If I was to take credit for anything, it was just kind of introducing her to this world, I guess, which isn't
Yeah.
even really true.
Right.
I taught her how to wrestle, but as far as like her run the last few years, like on the independents and uh she did everything herself.
Yeah. She's a
Even
natural.
honestly, I know the way it looks, and people can believe what they want. The way it looks is I got the TNA and now she's in TNA.
Yeah.
So people put that in the air. But the real truth is, and I'll say it here, like I actually never pitched for her once. Um, she never wanted me to.
Right.
And honestly, she was doing so well, it was never even really a thought in my mind because I knew she would be successful regardless. And I kind of feel irresponsible navigating that road for her, where I'm like, yeah, cool, I'm in TNA, but if she was to end up in somewhere else, that's great.
Right.
I think I'd feel very irresponsible if I had a hand in that. So I kind of left it in the air. And then I had learned something that was told to me by someone high up in TNA was they actually found her before they found me.
No shit.
So they had kept an eye on her and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. And the truth is, like, I had zero hand in that. I'm not saying people didn't pitch for her. I just
Right. Right.
wasn't one of those people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she just never really wanted me to in any avenue, and I respect that fully. So I'm so proud of her. I care about her career more than I care about mine. That's the truth. Um, uh, or maybe care isn't the word, but I'm just so much more like I'm so dialed in on her career. Even as like a fan.
Mm,
So uh, I just let that. I feel weird manipulating the universe into like let me try to get her here or whatever, whatever. I've been very hands off. Um, and she has done everything herself. All of her success is because of her. So I'm extremely proud of her, and I get to reap the rewards of it because
right.
now I get to go to work with my wife. So it's pretty
Yep.
awesome.
No, absolutely. And I know there's a lot of people out there, marriages and relationships where that doesn't always pan out. So, especially in the
Sure,
wrestling business. Um,
especially in the wrestling business,
yeah, it's
you
tough.
see it a lot, but we're very lucky. So
No, definitely.
yeah,
Cool, man. Ever think about going and after some intergender titles there?
yeah. So we have in the independent scene,
Yeah.
um, especially with like GCW. GCW is
Right,
such a
right.
huge part of her career and mine as well. Um, Honestly, an extremely pivotal part of both of our careers was game changer wrestling, and for me it was with the deathmatch stuff, but for her it was wrestling men, and
Yeah.
it was a place for her to wrestle top stars like Manders and Jordan Oliver and these guys who will push her,
Yeah.
and they have, and those are some of her best matches.
Yeah.
So, and then with your question with the intergender titles, like one of my favorite matches was in Hartford, Connecticut this year. Me and Gab versus Busted in the Brain is one of my
Nice.
favorite matches.
Yeah.
Um, so that's been very, very cool. And I don't know, it's very hard to predict intergender wrestling's
Yeah.
place on a TV level.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I would hope,
Yeah.
but even it's tough because even she had just defeated Dijak for the Limitless Wrestling World Title this
Right.
weekend, and that was amazing. And if you're in wrestling as a fan, it's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people watch outside of wrestling, and one of the big questions is why is a man fighting a woman?
Mm-hmm.
So there is a very, very sharp divide between the wrestling fans who get it
Yeah.
and the casual fans who would look at that and go, oh, that's not right.
Right.
So I think that would be a hurdle. That would be a hurdle. But there's ways to navigate it, and they have navigated it in the past.
Yeah,
And my thing with Gab is like, if you want to talk about what you could believe or what you can't believe, I don't care what you believe in or not. When she lifts somebody over her head, it's real. We're not turning the
yeah,
gravity button off. So,
exactly.
you know, it's
She's
one of those
impressive,
deals.
very impressive.
Endlessly,
Yeah.
endlessly.
No, and I love how much of her personality shows through with the character. Like the Nomi thing is just incredible for her,
It's
and
crazy.
it was something that I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work, but the longer I've seen her do it, I'm like, you know what? She's getting it over, and it's hilarious and great.
Me too, even at the start, because that's actually the Nomi thing goes back to when she was 10 years old. She's always been a gnome aficionado.
Yeah,
And then she had wanted to introduce it in wrestling. And I liked it. I definitely was like, I don't want to say I had doubts because, when she had started wrestling, I just wanted my ultimate thing was it has to be fun. There's no goal of getting signed. There's no whatever. It was
right.
just something she was trying. And I was like, that it has to, the ultimate goal is it has to be fun. And even still to this day, well, maybe not anymore because she's fucking killing it. But like,
Yeah,
for years, no matter how good she was getting, no matter how much of a following she was getting, I always told her, if this is not fun anymore, and you come to me and say, I don't want to do this anymore, you will never disappoint me ever. I will
right.
pull you right out of this. And
Hmm.
I don't care what anyone says. I don't there, this has to be fun and you have to love it, or else it's not worth it.
Right.
So, but we never hit that point. She's loving it. Even on days where it's hard and even on days where she's not loving it, she's still got it. She's
Yeah.
still, you know, because we all hit those days.
No,
But yeah, it reminds me a lot of Chris Statlander,
mm,
where when she started the alien gimmick on the indies, we were actually all pretty doubtful. We
yeah.
were all like, I don't think that's gonna work, and she proved all of us wrong, man. So it's kind of the
Yeah.
same
And
deal.
she's another one that just blows me away. Unbelievable. I'd love to see the two of them go at it in more recent times.
Yeah, actually, their last singles match was May 1st of this year.
Oh, okay. Right on.
May 1st at Creative Pro Wrestling. You can check that. I
Nice.
think it's free on YouTube.
Right
It's
on.
actually, I think it's on, yeah, no, it's on YouTube.
Cool. No, yeah, they're both incredible, and I think it's refreshing to see the originality, especially with women.
Yeah.
You get the borderline valets and you get the girls that transition into things, but they've definitely both held their own. Who's your favorite woman wrestler besides your wife?
Oh, that's tough. Of all time?
Sure.
Because Gab's also like one of my favorite wrestlers, period, too. So it's
Right.
tough. Um, I'd say Megan Bain.
Really?
I think Megan Bain is my favorite.
No kidding.
Megan Bain, China, Jordan
Yeah.
Grace.
Yeah. Just a
There's definitely a
real.
theme there, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I've only run into Megan, but she's always impressive to see what she can do for girls. I mean, she's really fucking tall. I mean, everybody's tall compared to me,
Very.
but
Her
shit.
presence is insane. Her
Yeah,
presence is crazy.
yeah.
And then, I kind of had a theme there with the ones I named, but if I was to break away from that theme, uh, somebody who I think is bound to be one of the best in the next few years is Kali Alexa from the
Yeah,
NWA.
she impresses the
Um,
hell out of me.
Unbelievable talent.
Yeah,
Unbelievable talent.
that girl is 22 and she's already got it in her. Like
She's got it.
all the things that she needs, it's just
Yeah.
there.
She's just super yeah, no, just super aggressive for such a small person.
Oh yeah.
Like so aggressive, so loud, so like captures your attention whether you like it or not.
And those fucking drop kicks, man. Holy shit.
She lays her shit in, man.
It
It's pretty
blows my
awesome.
mind. Like she just had a match with Olivia last week, and
Yep.
that hardcore match was a lot of fun.
Yep. Yeah.
It was a
Yeah,
lot of
they
fun.
were swinging those trash can lids at
Yeah.
each other. I was like, wow.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like, I getting to be 38 years old and you're looking at, okay, when I was watching Lita and Trish and all that, they were about the same age. But now it's like I'm on the flip side of that. So I can be like, oh my God, you're young enough to be my niece or something. What the hell?
Sure. Oh
You
man,
know?
I'm experiencing that too, dude, as a wrestling
Yeah,
trainer. Because now with Creative Pro Wrestling Academy, I'm one of the trainers,
right.
and man, I have to bite my tongue a lot at some of these things. It's not their fault they're young,
No, no, of
but
course.
bro, like I'll have students that are like, oh yeah, when I was a little kid and the Shield broke up. I'm like, oh my god, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Like I
Like
said to Olivia, I made some comment about, being a cuter version of Tully Blanchard in that match with the way she was just throwing shit.
that's amazing. That's amazing.
She just kind of looked at me like, "What? Oh, okay."
Right.
You
Probably
know?
has no idea.
No, exactly, but it was just funny. Really fucking funny.
Well, that's what Gab too, and not on an age not in an age sense, but
Right.
Gab again, like I said, she fell into wrestling with no prior knowledge.
Yeah.
So, uh, it's funny this year she has wrestled in Korakuen Hall in Japan. She's wrestled in the ECW arena, and those she knows the capacity of those things.
Yeah.
But don't ask her to name 5 matches in each of them because like she doesn't know.
Right.
She knows
Right.
like because Korakuen Hall you can't not know. You
Oh
walk in
God,
and you're
yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're just walking in and you're just the history is all over the walls and you're like,
Yeah.
whoa, this place is crazy. But again, she doesn't really know. So
Right, right.
like
I mean, the appreciation level is completely different.
completely different. So I think that's something as this new, we're getting into this new generation.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the way from my point of view, even at Wrestling Open, there's like 2 new generations because there's even younger than like the DJ Powers is, and there's like you see the breadwinners.
Yeah, those kids are
Those
fucking
kids are so young.
yeah. I'm like, since when did they let high school kids in the ring?
I'm
What's
like,
going
I'm
on?
like, oh man, like you're making me feel really old.
Yeah, tell me
So,
about it. Holy
but it's
shit.
cool though, man. I love to see it. I love to see the wrestling business evolve, and uh, they're all very still appreciative of the past, at least in my experience. I'm
Yeah.
sure some people might say different, but um, it's. I think it's a very cool thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe my opinion will change when I'm 35 or 40, but
yeah, right. Give you the
right now at 30 years old, it's pretty cool to see. I think it's in good hands. So
no, definitely. And like I just love the amount of indies that are popping up. Like I work in underground metal 24/7, so there's a lot of parallels to our
sure,
business and the wrestling business as far as, multiple promoters, same talent going in and out. I've often tried to put together things similar to like the territories and the NWA kind of thing so that we're all on the same page and not tripping over each other. But it's tough
sure.
in today's society. It's a little bit harder to get people to work together at times, but I love the fact that wrestling has become less competitive in an ego sense. I don't know if that's true in your perspective, but it seems that way to me.
With the performers or the promoters?
A little bit of both.
I would say not the performers. With the performers, this feels the most unified, I would say,
Yeah,
to
that's what
where
yeah.
everybody, I mean, I think Gabby's a good example of that, where like if you saw the reception online
Mm,
of how many people were so happy for her, I think that's a good indicator of where indie wrestling is, where everyone's kind of supportive for each other.
yeah.
I'm not going to get into it, but on a promoter side of things, not so much.
Yeah,
I think
promoter,
every
I'm a
promoter I
promoter. I've
know
been
hates
one
each
for
other.
15 years and it's not easy. There's always some kind of drama. There's always some kind of, cutthroat business move or just overreaction to things.
I think
So,
every promoter I know right now hates each other. So
yeah, it's tough.
I
Okay.
stay out of it. I stay out of
Nope.
it. And uh, sometimes I'm looked at as a bad guy for staying out of it, but I
Okay.
don't care. I'm just
No,
like, I don't give a shit. That's
I
not
try
my,
not to
I'm not
get
a
into
promoter.
it. Yeah.
Yep. I'm a wrestler. You pay me to wrestle, and that's it.
Exactly.
So
And there's days where I'd love to just go back to being a guitar player, not worrying about anything. But at the same time, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. So I always cover
very
my
true.
own ass in that particular department.
Sure.
But, so I'm trying to think what else we haven't covered here. Oh, so like I said, my wife and I are big New Japan fans.
Very
Obviously,
cool.
the landscape has changed dramatically over the last 10 years or so. Um, if you had to pick anybody from New Japan in the last, I'd say 20 years or so, who would you want to face? I could see you going against fucking Ishii.
Oh hell yeah.
Ishii would be great for you, I think.
That would probably be my answer.
Yeah,
Um, I'd say Ishii or if we're talking like last 20 years, I would say uh yeah, I'd probably say Ishii.
yeah, because I mean, I could see like Tenzon too, maybe,
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Ishii's definitely the who I would pick anyway. I
Yeah,
think
I think that's the best answer.
right on. Good deal. So, what are you listening to music wise lately? Anything new?
Sure. So, um, I've kind of been getting really back into new metal.
Yep,
Um, because I would say the last 2 years I was very into hardcore, New York, Long Island hardcore, like Pain of Truth.
yep,
Um, but I'm also like, I change a lot, I feel. So like
yeah,
I'm getting back into new metal. I love like um, obviously the classic new metal like Limp Bizkit and Papa Roach and stuff like that. But I also see, if you're big on TikTok, I don't know if you're a TikTok guy,
yeah,
but there's a lot of new artists that are trying to bring that style back.
yeah.
Um, there's a
Actually, my
cool,
band in particular, we're kind of a new metal slash
very cool. Oh,
thrash
very
band.
cool.
Yeah. So,
Awesome. Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome. I got to check
yeah.
that out.
No,
Oh,
definitely.
that's
I'll
sick.
send you a link for sure.
Please do.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like there's I'm definitely after this. I'm gonna be like, oh, but
Yeah.
I even just fell into this TikTok kid. He's just by himself. He's a one man band,
Yeah.
but is it's a band called Miscellaneous Department.
Oh, okay.
Miscellaneous Department. He has like not a lot of followers, not a lot of whatever, but I'm like this hits. I like this.
Nice.
Um uh yeah, but kind of into that new metal
Cool.
lately. I love like old Chevelle,
Yeah.
stuff like that. I love the playlist on Spotify, WWE pay-per-view themes. So I'll just roll
Yeah,
through
that's a good
that.
one. Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
I love that playlist. So I'll kind of like just binge those all day. Back into like I haven't listened to like I went like years without listening to Linkin Park, and now I love them again because I'm like, oh yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot. Like,
Right.
um not new Linkin Park. I don't really like that new album, but I love like obviously Hybrid Theory, I think is
Yeah. Huge
such a
influence.
goated album.
Yeah.
Um Actually, I could probably pull it up right here. Let me see. I actually have a because I have you hooked up to my car because I
Oh,
always do
right on.
podcasts in the car.
Right
And
on.
oh yeah, like I've never been I just got into I love the original album by Primer 55.
Yeah, they're good. They're very
Like
good.
I never really listened to them. And then I did this past month and I was like, "Oh, these guys are sick." And it looks like that's where they kind of stopped. But
You like
uh
Static X?
sure. Yeah, sure. I like Static X. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, good shit.
Um yeah, like that kind of stuff. I love um I love the band. I've always loved the band Stained.
Yeah, I'm a
Um,
huge Stan guy too.
Huge Stained guy. I think Aaron Lewis is kind of a little insufferable when it comes to he brings politics and everything, and I don't like politics at all. I keep politics out of everything I'm involved in.
Yep.
I hate politics. So I went to a Stain concert, and he's a bit insufferable when it comes to that stuff. But
Mm,
um, other than that, it was really I loved the show when there was music playing.
yep.
Um, but yeah, or even like like the band Flaw, like
Yeah, Flaw's good too.
so good. Um, Dry Kill Logic,
Yep.
love Dry Kill Logic, especially the album The Dead and Dreaming.
Yep.
Um, yeah. Oh, I when I was listening to a lot of hardcore, me and my wife got into Dying Wish.
I don't think I've listened to them before. I'll definitely check
Dying
those
Wish
out.
is a I would say a more recent band
Okay.
um, with a female front lead, and yeah, unbelievable, really unbelievable. There's an album, Flesh Stays Together,
Okay.
and it's very good. I highly recommend.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out for sure.
Hell
Yeah, I
yeah,
think, much like indie wrestling, there's a lot of underground metal especially that's just so good that's people aren't really hearing. So I'm trying to do my best to help get that out there, at least in the Northeast. But
hell yeah.
my other goal within the next year or two here is to kind of bring back the whole rock and wrestling thing. My
Cool,
promotion specifically is going to start doing metal shows that combine with like, yeah, I'd say like maybe 4 or 5 matches in between things or whatever. We'll figure it out. But I think connecting
nice.
those worlds make a lot of sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
That's
no,
awesome.
definitely. I got to talk to the powers that be at Wrestling Open and see if we can get those ball rolling on that. But
Sure,
yeah, definitely.
definitely give it a try.
Yeah, can't hurt, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So aside from metal and whatnot, is there anything you do on your very little spare time that people might not know about?
I mean, I love movies. I
Yeah,
love movies. I just watched Friday the 13th Part 5 last night just because I felt like it.
yeah,
Um, I still have to see the new Spider-Man, but again, just making time for theaters is pretty tough.
yeah,
Um, I'm a huge video game guy, but I haven't been playing lately. I love
right.
Xbox, but I'm very excited for Gears of War E-Day.
I
And
just played the beta yesterday, dude. It's great.
wow,
Yeah,
wow, that's
really good.
awesome.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah.
That's badass.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, I'm so jealous. And then hopefully, if we see GTA 6 this year, if they're actually coming
Yeah,
out on the date it says,
definitely.
I think this is the most interesting like release probably of all time, where it's the
Yeah,
highest, the biggest budget for a game ever
yeah.
with one trailer.
I know. It's like they're really keeping us salivating for sure.
There's no gameplay
No,
at all.
I
So
kind of
that
like it
is
that way.
it's kind of nuts. Yeah. So that's like really interesting. I think that's going to be a really crazy, like, everyone's kind of like, what are we in for? You know?
Well, yeah, I think it's going to be monumental for sure. No
Yeah.
doubt.
So I'm very excited. I think that's really cool. So yeah, I mean, anytime I can make time for gaming, me and my brother are really big into Rocket League.
Yeah,
So we love Rocket League. He just made me download. I'm not a sports guy, but he made me download college football.
yeah.
That's pretty fun. It's I try my
Basic.
best.
Right. Definitely. Cool,
I don't even
man.
know.
Well,
Yeah. So
I totally appreciate your time again. I'm glad we got a chance to
sure.
chat. And hopefully we'll have you and the wife on at some point. We'll also
Hell
get
yeah.
that out there. That'll be a lot of fun. But I will catch you very soon. I usually see you Monday nights anyway, so
Hell yeah.
all right, brother.
Yeah, dude.
Appreciate you.
I'll definitely see you soon. If anybody watching, if you'd like to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at Bear Bronson underscore. You can follow me on X at Bear Bronson BC. You could go to my Pro Wrestling Tees website, my store on Pro Wrestling Tees, or on TNAmerch.com. Um, and you can catch me on TNA Wrestling on AMC every Thursday night. Uh, on AMC, AMC Plus if you're in Canada on Sportsnet. Um, and tune in for Lockdown in Chicago, August 23rd, live on pay-per-view. It's set to be one of our biggest pay-per-views ever. So we're very, very excited.
Well, folks, that's another one in the can for us. We'll see you next time.